You flip the switch. A low hum, then a rising rumble. Steam curls from the spout. And about 2 minutes later, click, the kettle shuts itself off. You never touched it. No timer was set. No thermometer is in sight. Yet somehow this small machine knows the exact moment the water boils and stops. Tonight we slice one open. We follow the path from a flick of your finger to that quiet, confident click. Tip the kettle and look inside. At the bottom sits the element, usually a flat metal plate or a coiled loop pressed against the base. Hidden inside that metal is a tightly wound wire made to resist the flow of electricity. The plate keeps the wire dry and safe while passing its heat straight into whatever sits above. Fill the kettle, and that whatever is water. Close the lid. Flip the switch. Current begins to pour through the wire. Electricity is a river of electrons, and this wire is a narrow, rocky channel. As electrons push through, they collide with the metal's atoms again and again, billions of times each second. Every collision shakes an atom a little harder. That shaking is heat. We call the wire's stubbornness resistance, and resistance is the whole trick. In seconds, the element climbs past the temperature of boiling water, glowing with energy it pulls straight from the wall. Now the heat must leave the metal and enter the water. Where water touches the hot plate, the two press atom against atom. The fast-moving metal atoms jostle the slow water molecules beside them, handing over energy by direct contact. We call this conduction. The thin layer of water touching the plate warms first and warms fast. But a kettle is not heated one thin layer at a time. Something larger begins to stir. Warm water is lighter than cold water, so the heated layer at the bottom floats upward like a balloon let go. Cooler, heavier water slides down to take its place against the plate. It warms, and it too rises. Around and around the kettle turns, a slow rolling loop called convection. This is why the whole pot heats. Not just the base. Listen closely and you can hear it. That first soft rumble is the water beginning to churn. At the plate, the water grows so hot, it can no longer stay a liquid. Tiny bubbles of pure steam burst into being, tear loose, and race to the surface. When water hits 100 degrees Celsius, 212 degrees Fahrenheit at sea level, it boils in earnest, and the surface dances. Now steam pours off the top in a steady plume. And that plume, invisible work and all, is exactly the signal the kettle has been waiting for. Most of that steam escapes the spout, but some is caught. Running down the inside of the handle is a slim hidden channel, a tube with its mouth near the top of the kettle. Steam, light and eager, rises into this opening and flows down the tube toward the kettle's base. There, tucked behind the switch you pressed, waits the cleverest part of the whole machine. A small disc of metal. Steam is about to reach it. This disc is two different metals bonded into one, back to back. The trick is that the two metals do not grow at the same rate when heated. One expands eagerly, the other holds back. Warm the pair together, and the eager side stretches farther, forcing the whole disc to curl toward the stubborn metal, like a leaf drying in the sun. Cool it, and it flattens again. Heat alone can make this metal move. Remember that. Steam from the tube washes over the disc, and in a heartbeat the metal is hot. But this disc does not bend slowly. It is shaped like a shallow dome, and a dome holds its shape until it can hold no more. Then it flips all at once with a crisp click you can feel. Engineers call this snap action. One instant the disc is calm, the next it has jumped to a new shape and pushed on what sits behind it. Behind the disc sits a small spring-loaded lever, the same one your finger latched when you flipped the switch on. The snapping disc shoves this lever and the latch lets go. Two electrical contacts that were pressed together spring apart and the circuit breaks. No current, no heat. The element goes quiet. That sound you know so well, the firm click of a kettle finished, is simply two metal contacts parting, thrown open by a puff of steam. There is a second guardian, in case the kettle is switched on empty. With no water to carry the heat away, the element's temperature would soar. So a second bimetallic part sits pressed right against the base. If it ever feels that runaway heat, it too snaps and kills the power long before anything can scorch or melt. One sensor watches the steam, the other watches the metal. Between them, the kettle protects both your tea and itself. You might wonder why a kettle reads steam instead of simply timing itself or measuring heat at the base. The answer is honesty. A timer cannot know if you filled the kettle full or poured a single cup. A base sensor can be fooled by a scorching element before the water is truly hot. But steam is patient and truthful. It appears only when the whole body of water has reached a rolling boil, no sooner, no matter the amount. So here is the whole journey. You flip the switch and current floods the element. Resistance turns it to heat. Conduction passes that heat to the water. Convection spreads it through the pot. The water boils and steam rises. The steam slips down a hidden tube to a small bimetallic disc. The disc heats, snaps, and trips the latch. The contacts part, the power dies, click. A backup sensor stands guard the whole time. Simple parts, beautifully arranged. The next time a kettle clicks off on its own, you will know the truth. No magic, no clock, no one watching. Just rising steam, finding one small disc of metal, and quietly telling it the water is ready. A flick of your finger, a loop of current, and a puff of vapor that knows exactly when to stop. That is the cutaway. We will slice another everyday thing open soon.